safety rail there, right?
I was a little worried that they were setting me up to take a header. How are you? Good to see you. So thank you for coming.
Oh.
I appreciate it. It looks like Safathia has won.
It certainly does look that way, doesn't it?
Did anything?
I actually had the percentage exactly right. I just had them reversed.
You gotta work on that. So you've been the Ward 1 City Councilor for 6 years.
6 years.
Is that correct?
2010.
And then you'll be going out of office at the end of December. What have you learned in this process? I don't know if you can.
In the process of running or in the process of being on the council?
Let's say in the process of being on the council.
You know, the council is, it was a real revelation. Like you, I was a journalist, so I saw it from the outside. And to be inside and see the way that government functions, and sometimes doesn't function, but is really rewarding in a lot of ways. You see how much people care, how much they care about this city, and what they're willing to put up with and put into it. And that's very rewarding. I mean, that's something to me that's something I can't put a price on.
Well, one of the things that we've been talking about all night here is I'm not sure that people really understand the incredible amount of time and energy that you folks put into these virtually volunteer positions.
We worked it out once. We get paid $11,000 a year, which works out to about 6 cents an hour.
That's very glamorous work.
It is. It doesn't get any better than that.
Well, you know, one of the things you're my ward councilor and my friend and my neighbor, and I'm not sure you blew your own horn enough. You know, I remember one day.
Can I get a do-over?
I mean, you came to my house on a Saturday. You know, you left a family party to come to my house to look at a problem with a city pipe, and you didn't have to do that. I mean, that's the kind of unsung thing that you do, and that almost everybody else does too. And so I thank you for all of that.
I always thought, and I still think, I don't regret the way I've been on the council. I always thought you do your job. As I said in some of the debates, I didn't declaim from the dais. I went quietly and met with people and tried to try to build that kind of consensus. It's not glamorous, and charisma is not us. Sorry.
Well, see, I don't necessarily agree with that because I know you so well. But I think one of the things that's always tough in races like this is that there's a certain amount of punching and counter-punching going on, not necessarily from the candidates, but from their supporters. And I was a little surprised to see how you were portrayed sometimes, as King McGeary, and because I don't see that in you at all. What is it like to be on the other end of that?
Well, I mean, sometimes it's hurtful, but you understand that it's part of the game of politics, and I understood how my persona comes across, and sometimes I seem a little too avuncular and brusque, and I am who I am. I'm 65 years old. I'm not going to change my spots now. I ran as who I was, and the people decided they wanted something else, and that's fine.
So what do you take away from this election?
You mean in terms of life lessons, or
yeah,
or strategic? Elections are often a lot about emotion, and that was something I think I knew intellectually, but obviously intellectually is not emotionally. Bada bing. And I do think that there was powerful emotions at play, and a lot of reasons, and many of them were very positive emotions, but I probably didn't recognize that as well as I should.
Well, but I think one of the things about these kinds of experiences is that you do find out who your friends are. Yes. And there's something to be said for that.
I have lots of friends.
And there's something to be said for that.
And, the people that worked for me, I've never seen anybody work so hard for so little reward. It's been extraordinary. And those are friends I'm going to have for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
They're people who I think we'll take a couple of days to process. Yeah. And then they'll be back in the arena. They're going to be helping Gloucester because that's what we're all about. That's why we did this.
Is there anybody you'd like to thank or anything you'd like to say while you're here?
Well, my wife, Catherine Bayless McGeary.
Yes, I've been meaning to talk to you about that. That's a reality TV show.
My two Catherines. Catherine Bayless, who is our operations manager and really directed the whole campaign. We were making calls at 5 minutes of 8 tonight. She said, well, just call people near the polling place so we can get them there. And of course, my wife, Catherine, who is extraordinary. I mean, she's put up with an awful lot in the last 6 months.
And it's so tough on the spouses. It really is tough on the spouses. You're running, you know, it's the candidates are in the forum, they can defend themselves, but for the spouses, it's really difficult.
It is, because they feel the pain more. I mean, I understand when people say things on Facebook, you know, this is all part of the game, but they take it personally. I take it personally too.
Right.
But, you know, you got to have a rhino hide or you don't do this job.
Exactly, right.
But it's tough for family, and you know, and they didn't volunteer for this.
Exactly. Well, I just want to thank you. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for all that you've done. And I will see you.
Thank you, and thank you to the people of Gloucester for giving me this great opportunity. It really was wonderful.
Well, I'm going to throw it to Heidi now, who I believe